Foreign Minister IWAYA's regular press conference will commence. Minister, the floor is yours. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here. Next week, finally, the extraordinary session of the Diet will be convened. Today, I would like to reflect on my duties as the Foreign Minister of Japan and make a few remarks at the outset of this press conference. Japan currently faces the most severe and complex security environment ever since the end of World War II. And in this context, during the past year, I, as the Foreign Minister, devoted myself entirely to my mission, thinking that the objective of foreign policy of Japan is to lead the world of deepening divide and confrontation into a world of harmony and cooperation, with Japan serving as the nexus. Although my contributions had been humble, I had made all-out efforts. And I engaged in overseas travel, of which total distance equals 9 around-the-world trips. I visited a total of 25 countries. And I engaged in more than 350 meetings in Japan and in other countries. And I'm proud that I've been able to establish trust with foreign ministers of countries around the world and leaders of international organizations. Based on such trust, I have been strategically and energetically engaged in initiatives to secure the peace and stability of Japan, the region, and the international community, and to maintain and strengthen free and open international order based on the rule of law. Special focus was placed on the axis of Japan's foreign policy, the strengthening of Japan-US alliance, establishment of multi-layered cooperation with our ally and like-minded nations, establishment of future-oriented stable relations with neighboring countries, carefully designed cooperation that meet the needs of the global south, and initiatives to strengthen global governance. I have been promoting diplomacy of dialogue and cooperation. Once again, as I performed such duties, I was blessed with the understanding and support from the people of Japan and from you, the journalists and members of the press. And I hereby would like to extend my deepest gratitude to your understanding and support, especially the members of the Kasumi Club. I thank you for all of the support that you have rendered me during the past year. The situation in international affairs is in state of flux. I expect drastic changes and transformation to continue. So the Japanese foreign policy is going to reach a do-or-die state. So you are playing very important roles as you observe how the foreign policies of Japan is performing. So it's not an exaggeration to say that you yourselves are the very players of foreign policy of Japan, and I truly wish for your continued engagements in the weeks and months and years ahead. Thank you for the support during my past year. That concludes my initial remarks.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. When called upon, please proceed to the nearest microphone and please give us your name and affiliation and then question. Yomiuri Shimbun, please. Uemura from Yomiuri newspaper. Thank you for your efforts over the past year. The United States Treasury Secretary Bessent said that in his meeting on October 15th with Finance Minister Kato, he asked Japan to stop importing energy from Russia. Does Japan have a room to accept? How will Japan respond? Regarding the Treasury Secretary Bessent's communication, I am aware. On the part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, regarding the interactions, specifics of interactions between Minister of Finance Kato and Treasury Secretary Bessent, we would like to refrain from commenting. Having said so, regarding the energy import from Russia, the government of Japan will continue to work closely with the international community, including the G7. And while at the same time, as to what is effective in realizing just and lasting peace in Ukraine, and on the other hand, since Japan does not have energy resources within Japan, as to what is necessary for Japan's national interest, including energy and national security, the government of Japan will determine comprehensively and will have to respond appropriately.
Next question. Nikkei newspaper, please. Baba of Nikkei newspaper. Hard work during the past year. My question is with regards to relaxation of visa requirements for Chinese people. Late last year, the government decided on group tourism visa relaxation and the 10-year visa, which have not yet been implemented. There had been objection from the relevant division within the LDP, but do you have prospects with regards to the timing of implementation? What's your view regarding the importance of people-to-people exchange between China and visa? What do you think that aspect will impact the upcoming government? Thank you for the question. Last year in December, we announced the relaxation on the requirements for short-term stay visa for Chinese tourists. And regarding the timing of the implementation, we are cautiously studying the matter by observing various factors and situations. The government will continue to thoroughly explain the substance and meaning of this initiative of relaxation of visa requirements. The basis of Sino-Japanese relationship is, of course, government-to-government relationship, but also the exchange between the people of both nations. Inbound tourists from China is increasing, which we think is extremely positive. So we will continue to watch the situation and the changes in the situation and continue to take appropriate responses.
Next question, please. Kyodo Tsushin, Aikawa-san, please. Ayukawa from Kyodo Press. Thank you for your efforts over the past year. I have a related question on foreign national. Some press reports say that in next fiscal year, in fiscal 2026, Japanese government may be raising visa fee to the level similar to that in the US and Europe. And Ministry of Foreign Affairs may start a public comment process this year. Is this true? And what is the progress to date if that is the case? And if you are to raise a visa fee, what will be, where are you drawing references from? For example, levels in other countries. Inbound tourism is on the rise, and there is also an issue of over-tourism. How is the government planning to respond? As for the review of the visa fee, the comprehensive measures for acceptance and coexistence of foreign nationals was revised in June this year, and there is a mention of the revision of visa fee in the comprehensive measures. Under 2025 Basic Policy on Economic Fiscal Management and Reform, it states that in view of the levels of visa fees in major countries, visa fee is to be reviewed. So the direction of reviewing of the visa fee is already in place. And as for the specifics of the review of the visa fee, it is not yet determined, but there is an impact of inbound, as you have mentioned, including inbound impact. Various factors will be taken into account so that overall the system will be optimal and that a system will be operated in the most optimal way. And in doing so, the status of other countries should also be viewed as a reference. The fee level in Japan currently, I believe, is quite low. or cheap. As for the issue of over-tourism, as countermeasures for over-tourism, what are most effective must be reviewed diligently. For the moment, in 2023, Japan Tourism Agency put together a package of measures to prevent and mitigate over-tourism, and based on that package of measures, relevant ministries and agencies are supporting initiatives in 5 years regions. About the review of the visa fee, what effect it will have needs to be reviewed very closely as we continue to consider this matter. I do not believe that this is a matter that is an immediate matter.
Next question is by NHK Kawamura-san. Kawamura of NHK. Hard work during the past year. Regarding the passing away by former Prime Minister Murayama, he passed away today. He was from Oita Prefecture and he was with the Prefectural Assembly as well. Do you have memories of Mr. Murayama? What is your impression having heard the news that he has passed away? First of all, I wish to extend my deepest condolences and sympathy to the passing away of former Prime Minister Murayama. My sympathies goes to his families. In Oita Prefecture, he is the only Prime Minister so far from Oita Prefecture, so I am deeply impressed that he was a leader from the same prefecture. He was originally from the Social Democratic Party, which was the Social Party of Japan. But he was adored in a supra-partisan way from members of all parties under the nickname of Tonchan, and he had a very warm personality. I never was affiliated to the same political party, and I was the younger parliamentarian from the same prefecture, so he came to talk to me quite frequently. So he was a very warm person and a friendly person. Ishiba 80 years opinion was issued. 50 years, Murayama, Koizumi, 60 years, 70 years, and 80 years after World War II by Ishiba. We have to reflect on the past, and unless we keep our minds on the past, we cannot have the right policy for the future. And he was the pioneer in coming up with such comments at a few decades of milestone years after World War II. And I think we should continue to keep that in mind and continue such practice. And again, I offer my deep condolences to the passing away.
Next question, Uemura-san from Yomiuri, please. Uemura from Yomiuri. The U.S. Department of Defense put together guidance on new media rules, including Japanese media organizations. Domestic American and foreign media are reacting negatively in that freedom of press will be restricted. If news gathering activities are excessively restricted, even Japanese citizens may not be able to have appropriate access to the information of the U.S. government. How does the government of Japan view the situation, and is there any intention to approach the United States? Regarding the media report that you've mentioned, I am aware. However, basically, this is an internal affairs of other country. Therefore, I will refrain from offering a direct comment. The United States is a country of freedom and democracy, and I believe the freedom of press is important. In any case, Regarding the related developments, we will continue to pay close attention with much interest.
Yomiuri newspaper. Uemura of Yomiuri. I have one question regarding China. In Japan's EEZ, west of Tokunoshima Kamoshima Prefecture, Chinese research vessel was spotted to be extending a wire-like object. And recently, we have seen rising activities by unauthorized maritime research vessels of China within Japan's EEZ. How does the government consider such action? What's the intention? What's the backdrop? And does the government intend to approach the Chinese government to take this up as an issue? The series of activities by Chinese research ships has become quite active recently. That is a fact. Each time a ship has been spotted, the Japan Coast Guards has demanded for suspension. Scientific research without Japan's consent within our waters is unacceptable. Such activities must be suspended immediately, and each time that happens through the diplomatic channels of Beijing and Tokyo, we have been lodging strong representation and protests. We are not in a position to explain what the intention of the Chinese side is, but we will continue to respond calmly and resolutely against these issues.
Are there any other questions? Kawamura-san from NHK, please. I'm Kawamura from NHK. I have a question regarding Prime Ministerial election. Regarding Prime Ministerial election, with the view towards potential formation of coalition between LDP and Japan Innovation Party or Ishin Party, there are discussions underway. What is your view? This is something that is taking place in the political parties. As the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I would like to refrain from commenting. However, as one member of Parliament, all of a sudden, Japan Innovation Party is arguing to reduce the number of seats in the parliament. Their focus, first and foremost, of reform is prohibition of political donation. I thought that was their first and foremost argument, so I feel somewhat strange that their argument is as stated just now. There are important diplomatic schedule that are quite imminent. As soon as possible, the outline of the new administration should be formed so that Japanese government can address issues on the diplomatic agenda. I hope such a consultation will proceed as soon as possible.
Are there any other questions? If not, this concludes today's press conference. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much for being here.